Hello, Scream Demons, and welcome to the Screams from the Basement podcast.
This is the scariest horror podcast on this side of the Black Lagoon. Screams from the Basement discusses the best double features the genre has to offer.
We also interview the industry's finest that make our screams become nightmares. I am one of your creepy Christmas co-hosts. I am Casey.
And I'm Sam the fucking damned, and let's get screaming.
Let's get screaming, as today we are talking about one of the best double features, or a double feature that we will cover on this show. We are talking about 1997's Jack Frost and 2022's The Mean One. This is officially our Christmas episode, and it is the last time Sam ever lets me pick a double feature on this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a party pooper on this episode, guys.
I
I'm
think this is the episode that broke you.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, yeah. I'm a Scrooge in the best of Christmas stuff. I'm not a Christmas person. I'm sorry. I coming out right out the gate with a hot take. I don't like Christmas. I don't like snow.
The second half of that is not a hot take at all.
I'm and I had fun with one of these movies, and the other one I will discuss. Uh, Casey, why these two movies? You picked this. Why?
I honestly don't know. I know they were on our list for a while, at least the list I added to. But I think these two together, because of a recent trend in horror, and we'll talk about it, especially when we get to The Mean One, which is public domain horror movies. They're kind of a big trend in not Hollywood, but just independent horror right now. Really, with the release of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which was kind of the first one that blew up. Everyone's like, oh, they're making a Winnie the Pooh horror movie? What could this be? And it was awful. Then they made a sequel to that, and now they're doing, within that indie company, they're doing like Bambi and Peter Pan or something like that. This year alone, we've gotten 3, did you know this? 3 Popeye slasher movies this year.
And I won't watch any of them.
We will not be covering them on this show. I don't know if we're covering any more public domain after this episode. Honestly, I don't think we will. I've watched a number of them, or at least some trailers for some of them. It's just, it's not, this isn't it, fam. This isn't it. Like, this is not what you should be doing with these public domain characters. I understand putting them in horror movies. I do think that's a fun concept, but all of them take themselves so goddamn seriously, or put themselves into our world, and it just so happens Winnie the Pooh's there or some BS like that, which we'll talk about with the Mean One later on. But we've gotten all the Mickey Mouse ones. We got like Screamboat, and
I've at least heard that Screamboat is a marginally better film than the Mean One from that team, like the director and David Howard Thornton.
I'll be honest. We watched half of it I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago. We shut it off. We got to doing other things. What I watched in the half that I watched was better than the Mean One. That is correct. David Howard Thornton's the best part, as he is in the Mean One when we talk about that. But kind of the original OG public domain horror movie was Jack Frost.
Yeah,
where it was
sense,
taking
yeah.
this beloved, at least name of a character, Jack Frost, nipping at your nose. There was, of course, the stop motion animated movie, the made-for-TV movie. You had the Michael Keaton version around this time. Of course, you had this kind of takes Frosty the Snowman in a way into its lore as well, because it's a killer snowman, not just like the embodiment of winter, but it is the original public domain slasher movie. This is a slasher movie, came out in 1997, straight to video. Sam, are you ready to get into these though?
Yeah. I am. But this will be at least a lively discussion, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
like I said, this is the episode that broke Sam. We'll get into it. Not just the movies I picked, but movies that we'll talk about and do be doing. Sam did
And
not
do be
have a
doing too. I have had a
Sam.
rough couple of weeks with
Sam's had a
movies.
rough go. Yeah, I have too. I have too, and we'll talk about that later. Anyway, let's jump into Jack Frost from 1997 then. Directed by friend of the show, Michael Cooney. I'm saying friend of the show because he also wrote a movie we talked about a year and a half ago, Identity, on the podcast.
Yes.
The movie is also written by Michael Cooney and story by Jeremy Page. The cast includes Scott McDonald as Jack Frost, Shannon Elizabeth in her first film role 2 years before American Pie as Jill Metzner, and Chris Allport as Sheriff Sam, who is our main character of this movie, but Jack Frost. What is this movie all about?
A deranged Charles Lee Ray copycat gets fused with snow after a deadly accident on the way to his execution. Conveniently on the outskirts of the town, where he was caught by the local sheriff. As a superpowered snowman, Jack Frost continues his reign of terror while the PTSD-addled sheriff attempts to save his annoying kid. Jack Frost.
Jack Frost. Did you catch the name of the town that we are in this entire movie?
Isn't it like Snowminton or something like that?
Snowminton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Let's jump into this. Sam, what's your initial thoughts with Jack Frost? I know this is a movie you have seen before, but of course you rewatched it for the show. What is your thoughts now in 2025 on Jack Frost?
So I hadn't watched this in quite some time. Like, I remember watching this in probably high school, like over at a friend's house, and thinking like it was fine. It was kind of dumb and cheesy, and like maybe at the time I just wasn't into like super dumb and cheesy unless it was, something like Stay Alive that was directly connecting to my culture.
Yeah.
Like
You're like,
it was
this
an
is
old...
not mid 2000s enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I went into this with a little bit of trepidation. We'll talk about one scene that I've always kind of thought was a little like gauche. But I was surprised at how much I laughed at this and how and not laughed at, but like kind of laughed with. Like, this movie is very self-aware of what it is.
Yeah.
And more movies like this need to have that self-awareness. More movies like this need to be able to poke fun at their ridiculous premises and at their it's like you said with some of these like, for lack of a better term, public domain slashers, which technically neither of these fall into, because I guess Jack Frost is public domain because he's just like a folklore character, right? But like the Grinch technically hasn't fallen into public domain, and we'll get into that. But like, so many of these take themselves so seriously, or they have these actors that are trying to like play it completely straight and not let the audience in on the joke. And that drives me up a fucking wall. If you're gonna make schlock, make it fun schlock. Make it entertaining schlock. And this one does that. Like, it is schlock. It is not good. It is a direct-to-video late 90s horror movie. But it is a fun direct-to-video late 90s horror movie with pretty decent practical effects, if I'm being honest. Like, some of the kills in this, I was like, oh, that's fun.
Do you know who worked on this?
Oh,
our boy, Screamin' Mad George. His effects team worked on this movie.
That totally checks out. Especially when you get to the end where the snowman is like getting antifreeze to death.
Yep. Yeah, our boy, Screamin' Mad George.
Yeah, that's amazing. I did not catch that, but that totally checks, because some of the gore in this is genuinely like, oh wow, that is a really fun effect. So yeah, I actually like this one quite a bit. I would revisit this one in the future. if I'm being totally honest. Like it is, I don't think it's like an every Christmas kind of watch for me, but it is one that like every couple of years I might pop on around this time because there's some fun to be had with it.
Yeah,
How about you?
I have a ton of fun with this movie. I've seen this a good handful of times. Again, like you probably watched it in high school, probably came across it on Netflix is where I'm guessing. Back
Yeah,
when Netflix actually had like when
just
Netflix was
weird,
Tubi.
cool stuff.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
Netflix was Tubi back in like 2010.
yeah,
You know, so that's probably how I came across this. I'm sure for many people it was walking down the video aisle seeing that, in my opinion, iconic video aisle cover of Jack Frost. I
oh
think when you
yeah,
think of like video aisle horror movies, for me Jack Frost is kind of one of those that really sticks out, of like, especially for 90s ones, like that image of Jack Frost totally sticks out. Looks
yeah.
nothing like that in the movie, though, but it's a great
No.
cover. It's a great cover for this movie. So yeah, I've always had a ton of fun watching this movie. I think that, like you said, the biggest thing is that this movie knows what it is and never
Mhm.
tries to be anything more than that. And it knows it's a stupid, dumb slasher movie that apparently
Yeah,
at one point was going to be played straight as a straight slasher and have a big budget
yeah.
to it.
Well, that's what I read. Like originally it was gonna have like a like $30 million budget, which is huge for a movie like this. I'm like, what the fuck? Um, and then a different financer like latched onto it and said, "Hey, we'll give you like $500,000 to do this." And they started cutting the effects. And then they looked at the snowman suit that the effects company had made and said, "Oh yeah, we're not going to scare anyone with this." So they leaned into the comedy of it. And I'm like, "That's what you fucking do." Like
Yeah. Yeah,
you
it has no more of a budget than any of these other modern public domain slasher movies do.
yeah.
It doesn't, and we've come along so far where you can have that much more technology, but somehow we still we aren't putting out Jack Frost in 2025, and I wish we were putting out
Mm-mm.
Jack Frost in 2025.
Yeah. Like if someone actually like if if one of the public domain movies actually put in the work to make their movie as funny and kind of, I mean, I'm gonna say it, as inventive as Jack Frost is, like they could have a bona fide like breakout hit on their hands. But I feel like so many of these public domain movies just come in and fall out of the conversation almost immediately. Like who the
Yeah.
fuck is talking about Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey anymore? You know? Like it came and it went. That's it. That's it. Like no one.
Now imagine a Winnie the Pooh movie, slasher movie with this tone.
Yeah, it could
Like
do
that's
something
so much
cool.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
So,
yeah, for me, Winnie the Pooh is sacred, and I generally don't feel like I need to see him in a slasher movie. But if someone actually put like a Winnie the Pooh slasher movie together that felt like it was made by fans of Winnie the Pooh who just wanted to do like an irreverent take on it, I would be there. You know, like, but that's not the vibe I get from a lot of these.
no.
So.
It is not the vibe at all. And I mean, you get the tone right away in the beginning of this movie. You have this opening narration talking about Jack Frost, and it has this little girl who's like getting told this story is being told to this little girl, but like the little girl is very clearly an adult doing a little girl's voice. I can't tell if it's
Yes.
an adult woman or an adult male doing the little girl's voice.
It is an adult woman, and she is in the cast, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That
she's
yeah.
another, she's a cast member that pops up later in the movie. I don't know which one, but like, I do think that yeah, this actress played double duty, or pulled double duty. And I think Michael Cooney is the guy telling her the story.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
During like some
Which
ADR session, he's like, "We got to add this opening into the movie," and she's there, so let's just do it quick.
Yeah, and I think that's a genius way of opening it. You've got the credits going over the ornaments on the tree, like it's just kind of panning down a tree, and you've got all your credits going. You've got this hilarious back and forth between like a grandpa type of character and this little girl who's just like, "I want a scary story," and then he starts actually telling her a scary story, and she's like, "Grandpa, that's too much." And it's just, I don't know. I found it really funny. It's a great way to open it, and it tells you exactly what tone you're gonna have going into it.
And the ornaments are like actual ornaments that have people's like names and stuff on them.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really cool credit sequence,
Yeah.
honestly.
And then you get to the origin story of our Jack Frost. You find out he's a serial killer who was caught because he was pulled over by this town sheriff. Like that's
While
kind
he
of
was
it.
taking a pee in the woods.
Yeah. And that's how they caught him. And he's like, I will come back. Okay, he's Chucky. Like
Yeah.
Jack Frost
I'll
is
come back
100%.
and I'll kill you.
He's just doing Charles Lee Ray. Like that's
Yeah.
100% what Scott McDonald is pulling from here. What's hilarious is in this opening where you have these two drivers who are driving Jack Frost to his execution, and it's very clear that they did not shoot this in an actual car. It's just two
Oh yeah.
dudes like huddled really close together in this tiny little
Yeah.
quote unquote window
Yeah. With
that's
the
clearly
wiper
just these
going.
two dudes sitting against a black background that has like a piece of glass and a fake windshield
Oh,
wiper there.
I'll go even further and say I don't even think they're sitting. I think they're just squatting as if they were
Oh,
sitting.
probably, yeah.
It's pretty great.
It's so funny.
Um, and like, yeah, and you've got Jack in the back, like with another guard who's asking for a smoke, and Jack kills the guard before the truck crashes for some reason. I'm like, he doesn't even cause the crash.
No,
Like, the crash just happens, regardless of what Jack is doing in the back. But you get the scene where, I mean, I suppose it's to show you that this is a really bad dude who, even when he's cuffed, can annihilate an armed officer of the law. But
but yeah,
yeah.
the truck flips. He escapes. It collides with a chemical truck that is carrying like this top secret formula. Like what? Like what
It's
is
the
this?
human soul in liquid form, Casey. Is like, I don't know.
But it's a
When they
giant
start
tanker,
explaining
like
it, it's
full of it.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
flips. And like he blows up and becomes basically like this is his origin story. He becomes one with the snow. His body like gets all the chemicals on it, and he melts away and melts into the snow, and immediately rises back up as the killer snowman, Jack
Yeah.
Frost.
Yeah. This whole intro is gold. It's pretty great. I like what this actor is doing as Jack Frost. Like, it is very Chucky, it is very Charles Lee Ray, but I'm also a big fan of that franchise and Brad Dourif. And so, it's a direct to video. You're always going to get a knockoff something, right? Like, that's what direct to video typically is. And I think this is a pretty decent knockoff of Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah, I like him. I like him better as the snowman, Jack Frost, than the human. I think the human. I don't know. I don't know. Like his facial expressions feel more cartoonish than when his voice is just coming out of the practical snowman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Which I love that his voice coming out of the practical snowman, like the mouth never moves with it.
No.
Like it's all just ADR. Like they
Well,
didn't, well, I mean, obviously it's all ADR, but like they don't even puppet the snowman to like move his mouth with the stuff. I love how low budget it is.
and then you cut to the town. We got to talk about the town of Snowminton, where it has the least amount of snow I have ever seen in any movie that is supposed to be set in the snow. Where their big thing during the Christmas holiday is their snowman competition. But it's very clear that they shot this not in the dead of winter, in either the spring or fall, I assume, and just
No,
pumped in a bunch of snow.
I read that they did try. Like I read that they tried to do it in the winter, but it was the driest winter on record for the area that they were shooting. So there was no snow. There was like a snow drought. And so yeah, they had to pump in all the fake snow. I love how fake the snow is in
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like there's a snow person, like they make a snow woman with giant boobs, and there's like cotton, like it's clearly just like cotton swabs, and there's literal cotton just like hanging off of random places from this snow woman, and
It
it's
actually makes sense
hilarious.
when you see Jack Frost's costume, though. You're like, oh yeah, that snowman would come from this type of snow that's in this town. Like, it's so fake.
Yes.
It's very clearly like, yeah, fake, some weird fake snow mixture. And it's just like, yeah, that super fake snowman comes from that fake snow mixture.
Yeah. I love the fake snow. It's great.
Um,
The
Go ahead.
sorry. I also love how it just starts going. Like you get your first dead body and you're like you haven't even seen the snowman yet. You don't really even see him like rise up as the snowman. He just like fuses with the snow and then you kind of see like the snow start to rise. And the guard gets away and he's escaping. He's like he was a snowman and everything. But then you cut to this shot of this old man just like in a rocking chair with his neck bent back. And it's a pretty grisly effect, but it's also really funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you got the incompetent police of Snowminton, where one of their
Yeah.
officers is just like eating out of a Pez dispenser the entire time.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, like th- I don't know. There's just like there's just a bunch of fun to be had with these characters. Like I do
And like,
feel like
yeah, and like you said, this movie doesn't slow down. Like, it keeps going and keeps the kills going throughout. And I think that's one of the problems. Again, I don't want to. I think we are going to harp on it this entire episode, but I don't want to. But it's just a problem with these public domain slashers is that they kind of forget that they have to be a slasher movie.
Mhm.
And
which
Jack
is
Frost
insane because like that's
does
the
not.
novelty.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah.
Frost does not.
Yeah.
There's right after this old man dies, there's a child who gets decapitated by a sled.
No, no. He gets besledded, Casey. That's the term I'm coining. He gets
Desledded?
besledded.
I like that.
No, that scene is amazing too because it's like this giant bully picking on the sheriff's kid and he knocks Jack Frost's head off. And then Jack Frost shoves him in the way of a runner sled and the runner sled just yeah, it besleds him.
Besleds him. Yeah, and that's we find out that's Shannon Elizabeth's younger brother. She has a rough
Yep.
go of it. That family has a rough go of it in this movie, that's for sure.
Yes, they do. It's like it's so weird. It's like Jack specifically is like, "I'm gonna kill you and your whole family," and then he just like kind of focuses on a different family than the sheriff's. You know what I mean? Just this poor like random family who, I mean, I guess like poor. The kid's a bully, but like still, he's a bully. He doesn't deserve to get besledded.
No, no, not at all. And then Jack Frost immediately goes after his parents for some reason or another.
Yeah.
I wrote down a couple lines here that I thought were really funny during this scene. And I believe it's when the bully's parents are talking to each other, and the dad says, "When I want philosophy, I'll turn on Oprah."
Yeah.
Talking about his wife, like kind of like spouting why because he leaves to go to like the bar or something, right?
No, he's gonna go chop more firewood.
Oh yeah, chop more firewood. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because when he's doing that, you have this great line from Jack Frost as he shoves an axe handle into the dad's mouth instead of like using like the sharp part. That's again, the kills are super fun and inventive. Instead of using like the actual sharp part of the axe, he uses the axe handle to kill the dad, and he says,
Yeah, it's
"I only
super
axed,
cheesy, but it's fun.
I only axed for a smoke."
That's right. And like it's super cheesy because like it's his head doesn't go back with it. Like his head's just still sitting on his neck like this. But there's a whole axe handle somehow all the way back. Like it's hilarious. I love this effect. I think it's a really fun kill. And then you go in and you have the mom who's decorating the Christmas tree and she gets strangled by Christmas lights and then her head gets slammed into a box of Christmas bulbs, which like the hooks, the like shards, that is always something that like as a kid freaked me out. Like just in general when I was setting up the tree, like, oh, don't drop the bulbs because when they shatter they're sharp, and so like the sound design of her getting slammed into that box and like her coming up with the little pieces of bulb sticking out, that got me. I was like, oh no. It, it was pretty good. It was a pretty gnarly kill. It was fun. And then he like strings her up in the Christmas
Into
tree.
the tree, yeah.
Yeah. Also Marla. Marla, the female deputy. I just like her. She's got spunk. She's just I don't know. She doesn't do much in this movie, but like every time she pops up on screen, I'm kind of like, yeah, Marla rules.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me of what's her name in Ghostbusters?
Oh, Janine.
Of Janine a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, she is a little Janine like.
Like has to
Yeah.
deal with all these men all the time and kind
Yeah.
of is spunky about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One shot that I thought is pretty cool is this like POV shot that they use a couple times. They use it first when they're investigating the house, Shannon Elizabeth's parents' house, and it's like the shot of like the footprint puddle, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
like get the reverse of it, like we are the footprint puddle and we're looking up at
Yeah.
them, like we're in like Jack's POV, like when he's melted down.
Yeah. I mean, this little direct-to-video slasher actually has some inventive camera work in a lot of places. Like even the crash, like you obviously don't see the crash because they don't have the money to crash an entire truck, but like the camera's spinning and you've got the screaming faces in the middle of it. Like it's dynamic. Like it's a very dynamically shot movie for being such a low-budget direct-to-video. And I love like when you get points of view from up of a puddle or like
You have like zoom, like really like intense like zooms later on. Like there's the
yeah.
scene in the police station where they like zoom into the keys being on the other side.
Yes. Oh God, the police station scene where they've got all the aerosol cans everywhere. That's like a genuinely, legitimately kind of tense scene. You're like,
That
oh
feels like
shit.
the one scene that's probably left from that original script, the $30 million version. Because I feel like that one would be more of an action slasher than like a
Yeah.
super low budget. We just got to think of cool, inventive kills. Versus like
Yeah.
that feels like an action movie.
Yeah. It's one of the only like truly tense set pieces in this because like otherwise you're just kind of having a good time, but that one is actually kind of like, oh, what's gonna happen here? Um, after the mom of the bully gets killed, we also get introduced to Agent Manners. This guy is not a good actor, at least not in this movie. I haven't seen him in anything else, but he fits the movie so well. Like, I don't know. Every time he's on screen, he's giving the driest possible. Like,
He's
he's
government
clearly,
agent. He just has to
yeah,
play stoic and serious.
he's supposed to be like no nonsense, but it just comes off as like I don't know. Like, there's just something about it that feels very community theater to me, but it's so endearing.
Oh yeah, 100%. It feels like a guy playing stoic and serious.
Yes, 100%. And I just love that his name is Agent Manners. Like, what?
Yeah, so when the government shows up, the entire town gets shut down. It's on lockdown. Most of them go to the church to hide out there. Then you have Shannon Elizabeth and her boyfriend. They decide for some reason to sneak into the sheriff's house
Yeah.
to have sex, but it is not before one of the funniest strip teases in any movie. It's so funny where they're like, well, before we go, they're in the kitchen and they start like strip teasing, but because it's winter and cold outside, they have like 10 layers of clothes on.
Yes.
It's so
So they're like
funny.
stripped down to their long johns. Like they're
Yeah.
both in long johns by the end of it. It's so funny. Um Shannon Elizabeth goes up to freshen up, and her boyfriend stays behind, and he gets icicled to death. But my favorite Jack Frost line in this whole thing is when the boyfriend is like, "What are you?" And Jack Frost just goes, "World's most pissed off snow cone."
He has two of my favorites during this scene. Well, I ain't fucking Frosty.
Yeah, fucking Frosty. That one's good too. Oh my god. Yeah. This like the boyfriend getting killed is really fun. Like that whole scene, and I love how like bloody it is. Like you don't really even see, like, I mean, he's just getting impaled by these icicles, and they are just, I don't know. This is a brutal scene. I love it. I love all the different powers that he has as a snowman.
Yeah.
Like he never has the same powers twice, right? Like at one point he can like shoot icicles out of his hands, and at another point he can like grow icicle teeth and bite people.
And in another scene, his carrot can move from his nose to somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's let's get to this. Okay,
Let's
so
get into it. Yeah.
um, I mean, it's not.
It's not
I,
egregious.
it's not.
It's not
It's
like
not egregious, and I think it fits the tone. And I think that's why, for the most part, I'm okay with it. Like, I don't have a problem. Like, it doesn't offend me at all. I think it's fine. Shannon Elizabeth isn't like having to do like full frontal or anything like that. It's she's taking a
right.
bath. All of a sudden, you see like this carrot float up in the bathtub, and you're like, "Oh no, Frosty's gonna be in there." So it's really funny, like when it freezes and she gets wrapped in it, and then you realize, "Oh, his nose isn't on his face."
Yeah.
I do think that's kind of funny.
It is funny. Like it makes me, I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable that this
Yeah,
type of scene is played for laughs, but it's also like it is funny. Like I don't know. It's one of those weird like
I think
I
part of
don't
it
knock
too.
it, I don't knock against the movie for it because it's like you said, it's in the tone of what
Yeah,
this movie's doing, but it kind of makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, the worst part of it is that she is supposed to be a high schooler.
Yes.
And we
And
know how
they
old Jack
even have
Frost
some
is, and
like,
it's icky. Yeah, you couldn't
yeah,
have had her like, I'm back home from college type of thing.
right,
Something
like
at least. I don't know. Instead of playing like a 17 year old,
no, they do have a line earlier in the movie that says she's 18. And I'm like,
that
okay, but
doesn't make
she's
it that
still in
much
high
better.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
that scene is 100% the inspiration for a certain scene in Thanksgiving.
Mm, yeah, definitely.
So much,
100%.
yeah. Jordan Downey, the director of Thanksgiving, has said that. He's like, yeah, we did the scene from Jack Frost, but with the turkey.
Oh my god. That movie's wild too.
But yeah, then you get. I think this is the best scene of the movie. Is that aerosol can scene in the sheriff's station,
Yeah.
where you have them trying to evade Jack Frost. He's breaking in. His water is starting to seep under the this door that they've locked. They're trying to leave, but they're also setting a trap, and because they realize, oh, he can still melt. He's a snowman.
Yeah.
So they set up like all these aerosol cans, and they're like, we're gonna have these blow up with him in there, only to realize, oh no, there's still someone locked in the jail cell from earlier in the movie, a drunk. And
Yeah.
then Jack Frost makes his way back in because they have to go get the keys from the other side of this like hallway where all the jail cells are. I think it's a really effective scene, and it's a ton of fun, and you get a fun explosion too.
Yeah. It is like that is one of the best scenes in the whole movie. I don't know if it's before or after this, but there is a shot of like them coming in and finding a puddle, and Agent Manners is like shooting bullets at the water, and he goes, "God damn it, it isn't working!" And it reminded me of like a South Park gag. Like it felt like a South Park gag. just
One
like
hundred
just
percent.
unloading a clip into a
Yeah.
puddle of water. Damn it, this isn't working. It's
It
just
was like I
it's
think it's right when he like
fantastic.
comes into the police station.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And oh god, it's great. You have like the nerdy scientist guy who's like explaining everything and he's like, "The soul is a chemical." And it's like, "No, it fucking is."
It's a chemical, dude. Like, what are you
What
talking
does
about?
that mean? Like, no, like what do you mean his like that explanation doesn't work because like Jack Frost's soul is in the snowman, but like the chemical is what made him. Makes no sense. It's total direct to video science bullshit. So funny.
Well, and how they defeat him too is bunch of direct-to-video horror movie science bullshit.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the aerosol
They
cans do not work. The sheriff, earlier in the movie, was gifted these cookies that his son made that looked disgusting.
yeah, the
Turns
oats,
out they
the
were
oatmeal.
disgusting. They were oatmeal cookies. I don't think they were even like oatmeal. I think they were just oatmeal cookies. Like I would have just let
And
that kid. I would have let Jack Frost take that kid if he's making me just oatmeal cookies. But not only that, the kid adds antifreeze to the cookies. Why, you may ask? Because he wants to warm his dad up.
yeah. Yeah, it is
He's like, I don't want.
it's
I
so
didn't want
funny.
you to
He
get
just
cold.
didn't want you to get cold. And I'm like, "Oh my god. Who is letting this child cook in the kitchen unsupervised? How many toxic chemicals has he fed you?"
The mom was right there, though.
Right?
She's there while he's making these cookies. So
Oh
they
my
realize,
god.
oh, that's how we can defeat him. We need a ton of antifreeze. So they go to like the hardware store, literally throw a tarp in the back of a pickup truck, dump all the antifreeze possible into the back of it, and it sets it up for a big showdown where in the end the sheriff tackles Jack Frost into the antifreeze and like it starts melting Jack Frost down.
Yep. But one of his arms is loose. And the kid picks up the arm and goes, "But dad, what about this?" And the arm like wraps itself around him.
Yeah.
And literally, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but he baptizes his kid in antifreeze. He dunks him in the antifreeze 3 times to get rid of that arm. And I'm like, that's religious symbolism. I don't care. Like, that's hilarious. Um, Also, I don't know where this happens in the third act entirely, but there is one point where they've all got like hair dryers or some kind of like heating thing and they're all trying to melt him.
Yeah.
Like almost like gunpoint type of thing. And there's a priest in this movie that pops in and out, and the priest is literally doing the cross motion while he melts him, like with this little like hand heater thing.
It's a really good shot, but there's a really funny shot when they do that. It's when they're all like standing with an arm behind their back, and Jack Frost is like looking at them, and all of them pull out their air, air hair dryers at the
Hair
same time and
dryers.
start like walking with one arm behind their back towards him with them. It's really
Yeah.
like cheesy, but also like a really like unique shot.
It's like a Magnificent Seven type of reference or something. Yeah, it's weird. Oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
This movie's wild. This movie's crazy. But yeah, they defeat Jack Frost until he shows up in Jack Frost 2, which I've never seen. I know it
I haven't either.
it's like a beach themed Jack Frost movie. I've never seen it. I've not heard great things about that one compared to even this one. But yeah, Sam, do you have any other final thoughts on Jack Frost before we give our rating?
No, just that I was honestly kind of surprised at how much I ended up enjoying this one. Um, I've definitely been a little bit of a Grinch movie wise lately, where I've watched a lot of stuff that I've just been like not too hot on, and so I kind of went into this expecting to not love it. And I don't know if I would say I loved it, but I will say that I had a really good time with it. So yeah, Jack Frost, solid fucking movie. Um, let's rate this out of 5 carrot dicks.
5 carrot dicks. Sam, how many carrot dicks
Yeah.
are you giving this then?
I'll give it 3 out of 5 carrot dicks. Like it's a recommend for me. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I think if you haven't seen it, it's a fun one to put on over the holidays. And yeah, 3 out of 5 carrot dicks. How about you, Casey?
Same here. 3 out of 5 carrot dicks. I think this movie, it's not going to go up or down from that rating. And I think we need more movies like that, where it's just that
Yeah,
solid 3 stars, turn your brain off. I'm going to have some fun with the killer snowman movie. And that's exactly
yeah,
what this is. It's exactly what you expect going into it. And if you have some fun along the way, which I think everyone will if you watch this movie, you're gonna have a good time with it. So I think that's something that is commendable about Jack Frost, is that it is just a ton of fun and like super entertaining for 90 minutes. And I think that's all this movie needs to be for a straight to
yeah,
video slasher movie from the 90s about a killer snowman. Just have fun with that premise. And from that alone, it should be a 5 stars of like going out with everything it set out to be and more. 5 out of 5 like that. But as a movie, 3 stars, 3 carrot dicks.
yeah. It's like, and that's the thing. That's something that I want people to keep in mind as we get into the second feature here. Is turn your brain off schlock is perfectly good stuff. We are big fans of turn off your brain schlock. But like, god damn it, you have to have some fun with it. Like, you have to have some kind of, there has to be some kind of passion or creative verve behind it that makes it worth the schlocky ride. That it makes the seams that you can see in these low budget movies worth getting through. You know? With that, let's go to our first ad read.
Let's get to our first ad read as we are joined by the Full Moon Army, because we are part of the Full Moon Army and we want you to take advantage of our exclusive offer for listeners to Screams from the Basement. Full Moon Features, best known for their Video Isle classic franchises, Puppet Master, Subspecies, and the Evil Bong series, is offering 10% off every order on fullmoonhorror.com when you use our promo code SCREAMS at checkout. This goes towards all in-stock items, including Blu-rays, DVDs, replicas, action figures, and so much more. Again, visit fullmoonhorror.com and use promo code SCREAMS at checkout to save 10%. Exclusions apply. All right, well, let's get to our next movie in this public domain Christmas horror movie slasher double feature. And we are talking about 2022's The Mean One, which is a take on Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But in this case, it's not really a public domain slasher movie because How the Grinch Stole Christmas is not in the public domain. They do everything in their power to skirt around that as best they can in this movie. They never call him the Grinch. They are not in Whoville. It's not Cindy Lou Who. So they skirt their way around this movie, around it being a Grinch movie. But you know exactly what it is. You know exactly what they're going for with that. So this movie came out in 2022. Did not come out straight to video because that, again, it does not exist in 2022. Did come out, I believe, in a limited theatrical run. And then straight to video, straight to DVD, Blu-ray after that. The movie is written by Flip and Finn Cobbler. We'll talk about Flip here in a second. And it is directed by Stephen Lamort, who would go on to, again, work with the film star David Howard Thornton in Screamboat that just came out this year. The cast includes David Howard Thornton as the titular mean one, Crystal Martin as Cindy, Chase Mullins as Officer Burke. Hey, there's our old friend Flip Cobbler as Lou, the father of Cindy, and Amy Schumacher as Mayor McBean. Sam, what is the story of The Mean One all about?
After a young girl watches her mother get killed at the hands of a vaguely copyright-friendly version of Rhymes with Sminch, she must go back to her hometown decades later to confront her past and kill the mean one that they call the Mean One.
Mr. Finch.
Mr. Finch. Yeah. All right, Casey.
Yeah.
What did you think of
have
this
it.
movie?
What's that?
What did you think of this one?
I was just gonna say, you did not have a good time with this movie. I know that.
I did not. I did not. I wish I had.
Yeah.
I went into it with an open mind. I really did. Like I was like, no, like this might be fun. I'm gonna do my best to have a good time with this. It was a rough watch for me. It really was. And I take no pleasure in tearing down independent film. I know how hard it is to make a movie. This one this one really didn't work for me. What did you think of this one?
So yeah, again, I picked this one to pair with Jack Frost. I knew I liked Jack Frost already, and I felt like, okay, that could be one that Sam will have some fun with upon a rewatch. This one here, first time watch for both of us. Again, I remember when this came out in 2022, it was so hard to find for some reason. Like, I just
Yeah.
could not find this movie. And I know it took like a whole year for the actual DVD and Blu-ray to come out. So it was like the next Christmas, like 2023 is when it finally hit video and DVD and Blu-ray. And yeah, I had always wanted to watch it because I love David Howard Thornton. He's what makes the Terrifier franchise work as Art the Clown. Like, really, what makes that series stand out is his performance as Art the Clown. And we know that because they made other versions of Art the Clown in like short films before that, and no one talks about them.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh
only
yeah,
talk
for
about
sure.
it as soon as he jumped into that role. And he's tremendous, and he's the best part of this movie. But also, that was the reason I wanted to watch this, and I was like, oh, a Grinch, again, a Grinch slasher movie. That sounds fun. That's a cool little idea where it's like, oh, what if the Grinch's heart didn't grow 3 sizes that day? Instead, he's like, I'm going to go kill everyone in Whoville. And I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's goofy. We can have some fun with that premise. And again, I, much like you, and I don't take pleasure in shitting on bad movies, but this is not, it's not a good movie. And I was hoping it was going to be. There are some really fun scenes that we will talk about. There
There are
is some good
glimpses.
stuff in this
Yeah.
movie that I think is worth checking out. But the movie for me as a whole is not one to check
Yeah.
out. But I think there are specific things that we will talk about that are great and definitely worth mentioning and checking out. The first thing, I think we have differing opinions on this because we were kind of messaging back and forth while we were watching this.
Mm-hmm.
The opening narration, the Dr. Seuss narration riff, I liked the narration riff, or you had the rhyming, the Dr. Seuss narration, like we have in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, like the Ron Howard version. You get
Yeah.
um,
And
Anthony
obviously they're
Hopkins is
staying away
doing,
from the. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, Anthony Hopkins is doing the narration in How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. Here we just get, a local actor who's worked with this group
Right.
before, and I think he does a good job of like mimicking that.
I think that like yeah, the voice performance is good. I get that they're trying to like they can't use the actual Dr. Seuss prose because obviously copyright issues. They're making a fair use kind of parody type of thing. I found the like writing of the rhymes to be a little like bad. Like there are times where like it's almost like they're trying to be funny where they say I think like they say something about a sled and then they go like to make them not dead or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it's clunky and it doesn't I don't know. Like it was
They're not Dr. Seuss.
no, they're not Dr. Seuss exactly. And like I don't need Dr. Seuss, but I was kind of hoping for something maybe a little more clever in the voiceover,
Yeah.
in the writing. Like you said, the vocal performance is actually like really good, like what you would want from this. um I don't know, like and part of it is this movie's really serious, like for most of it. I do think it allows itself to be a little silly when you get into the back half, and those are the moments that this movie actually starts to like. There are moments in the back half that I was like, oh, why isn't the whole movie like
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Like, why aren't we doing this for 90 minutes instead of being kind of a dour experience for like 50 minutes and then having fun in the last like 20, I don't know.
So I also I'm not going to talk about this in Doobie Doing because it's not a horror movie. But I did rewatch Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version.
One of
I
my
watched
all-time
it.
faves.
I watched it the same day I watched the Mean One. It just so happened that we had some friends over and they're like, "Hey, let's watch a Christmas movie," and that was one that, "Hey, let's watch that," and I was like, "All right, sure." Like it might be a good refresher to have that in my mind because that's clearly what this movie is riffing on more than
Hmm.
anything is the
Yeah.
Jim Carrey version of the Grinch.
Oh
Because
yeah, because
you look at the makeup of David Howard Thornton, it is damn near identical to the Jim Carrey version of like if you had imagined if there was like a nightmare scene or something like that in
hmm
Ron Howard's version, it would just look like David Howard Thornton in this movie,
yeah,
in the Mean One.
it's Rick Baker's, but on a slightly smaller budget.
Yeah.
Well, quite a smaller budget. But like they make the most of the makeup with it. I feel
It
like
looks
I
so
think it
good.
looks good.
It
Yeah.
looks so good. The makeup for the Mean One is incredible in this movie. I think, and again, David Howard Thornton's giving it his all. I wish he had more to do, and we'll talk about that. In the opening of this movie, that was another thing that stuck out to me. It's like right away you get this opening narration, but it's all over stock footage of like just Christmas stock footage you could buy off Adobe, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why aren't we?
Like
Why
we're
aren't
in
we?
Newville.
Yeah, why aren't we doing something Dr. Seussy? Why aren't we in some weird, whimsical town? I know we're in what is it, Newville, right?
Yeah, they call it Newville. But
Which is
like you
supposed to be
don't ever
like
get a sense of like what this town is. Like
no,
it's not
it's not a
really.
doc. It's a town that's in Northern California. You
Yeah,
literally see
that's
cars with license plates that say California. They talk about being in California. It's just a town in Northern California. It's the
hmm
setting of a Hallmark movie. And
yes.
that was super disappointing going into this of like, oh, why didn't we just do and I understand it costs a lot more than just filming in a small town in Northern California, which is I'm sure where they filmed this, but have some fun, have some creativity with it. Find a way
hmm
to make a town that's like Whoville, but like maybe is like run down or something like that, or has adapted to modern technology because of the Grinch. Like they don't want to be this weird because they talk about like Christmas is gone in the
Yeah,
present
like
day. It's gone. No
they
one
don't
celebrates
decorate,
it.
they don't celebrate.
If you do, the Grinch will come and get you and kill you. And I'm like, that's a cool premise of like why they don't celebrate Christmas. But
But
we
like
maybe could have used a flashback to like what the town was when they did celebrate Christmas.
yeah, and like you don't get a sense of like dread from the town either. Like it's just kind of like it's just like, oh, Christmas doesn't exist. Like there's no like, oh, if you celebrate Christmas, the mean one will come. Like it just kind of like I don't know. Like there's just this movie kind of feels at odds with itself because like you said, it's very Hallmark movie. It's very like, oh, girl's coming back to her hometown. She falls in love with the local deputy. Like all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's an interesting angle too if you want to go for it. Like take out the Grinch stuff entirely and make like a Hallmark horror Christmas movie.
Yes.
Fuck
Yes.
yeah, do that. But it doesn't lean into that either. Like it doesn't commit to either one. It doesn't fully commit to being like a fantastical Seuss kind of movie, but it doesn't commit to just being like a cheesy Hallmark slasher either. And I'm like, why? Like there are nuggets of ideas here that if you expounded upon them or like push this movie past like kind of it feels kind of like a first draft script, honestly. Like there's things that you could have mined from this to make this something that I would have 100% recommended, regardless of quality, as long as you like leaned into it and made it entertaining. You know?
There is something I think the movie's kind of bookended by the two best parts of this. And it's kind of
I
it's
agree
really
with
the
that.
emotional core of this movie. The movie does have an emotional core, and I think for the most part it works, but it's never focused on, I think is the way to look at it. So in the opening you have Cindy, you know who,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny, but it's also like roll your eyes funny. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So Cindy gets like she meets the Grinch, like we do in the story, where she comes downstairs on Christmas. She believes it's Santa. It turns out to be the Grinch. In this version, she gives him her necklace and like saying, "Oh yeah, I don't see you as a monster right now. You're Santa Claus to me right now. You're something I cherish. I want you to be my friend. Here's a necklace." Then you have the subversion of that. The mom comes downstairs and immediately calls the Grinch a monster and gets into a big scuffle and starts beating the shit out of the
Yeah.
mean one. The mom does. The mom starts beating up the Grinch, and in that scuffle, she dies. And then you have Cindy calling the Grinch, the mean one, a monster. Then, but at the end of this movie, spoilers for the mean one. You find out that all these years, 20 years later, the mean one has been killing all of these people, but he still has Cindy's necklace.
Yep.
And when he realizes, when the mean one makes that connection between Cindy being that little girl that gave him that necklace all those years ago, that's when his heart grows 3 sizes.
Yeah, because she forgives him.
Because she forgives him.
She says, "I forgive you," and yeah,
And it's good. I think for the most part that works. And like again, that's like an emotional beat that is thematically tied into the Dr. Seuss story.
Mm-hmm.
And makes it palatable for a slasher movie too.
Yeah, and it's a funny end because like yeah, his heart grows 3 sizes, it explodes and kills him.
It's so funny. I legitimately
really
had
funny.
a laugh
Like,
out loud moment where like he realizes his heart is growing and he's like throws her off of him to save her and rolls over like it's a grenade
yeah,
and just
yeah, like that.
it's
scene,
so funny.
hilarious. I wish the whole movie had that energy because that scene is so fucking funny. Like, and here's my other thing. Here is my other big pro with this movie. I actually really like Crystal Martin as Cindy. I think she's pretty darn good in this movie with what she's given. She's typically a stunt actress, like she's done stunts for Ronda Rousey. Here's my other take. I think she's a better actress than Ronda Rousey.
That's not a hot take. That is 100% true. Yeah.
But she's good in this. And in the back half when she's like kind of just like I'm going to kill him and they do like that training montage, I'm like, yeah, this is goofy. Like she's got a stupid dummy of the Grinch hanging in a tree and she's like punching it and she's like doing all these things. She's pulling out like peppermint striped Glocks at the end of this. And I'm like, where was this energy for the first hour of this movie? You know?
Yeah, the
like,
first hour of this movie is the Hallmark stuff where it's like
it's
being a Hallmark Channel Christmas movie. She goes back to her hometown with her dad. They're trying to, find like a new meaning in Christmas because it's always been a bad taste in their mouth because obviously their mother died in this town on Christmas because of the mean one. The town no longer celebrates Christmas, and everyone in this town, for some reason, looks at her like a monster. And I don't like that because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It does not.
It does
At
not
all.
make a
Like,
lot of sense. And it's just very strange to include. It feels like adding drama for drama's sake when we just don't need that. Again,
Yeah.
we're a Grinch slasher movie. We don't need like she's the town's like
She's the town pariah.
pariah. Like we don't want her back here. She's bad news.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just there's her dad gets killed by the Grinch. Like she gets locked out of the house and she's trying to go through and like the Grinch kills her dad.
After a really funny montage of them hanging up Christmas decorations.
Yes. Another part that I was like, this is fun. Why is more of this movie not this? Like this goofy type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, you get glimpses, but like it doesn't commit to that tone and it drives me nuts. But like the like then it cuts to her in the hospital in a bed, like waking up and screaming. And I'm like, so did her dad actually die? And then you find out he did. Like, the editing is so weird in this movie to where, like, I'm like, I feel like there are scenes missing. I feel like there are pieces of this movie that, like, just maybe they didn't have enough coverage. Maybe the script just didn't have those scenes in there. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but like there are
It
times
feels
where
like
you have to like,
it's a coverage thing. It feels like a
yeah,
coverage thing because there's a scene later on where she's out in the California wilderness of Whoville taking pictures of people, and you have like the first time in public that the mean one attacks this couple, and I
hmm
don't understand what's going on in that scene. Like,
no,
it's so scattershot in how it's shot.
yeah,
Like, it just doesn't make any sense in how it's edited too. Like, I don't understand what the mean one's even doing. He's just growling at them and ends up killing one of them, I think.
yeah.
I
It's
guess.
really weird.
It's very weird.
There's a scene in like a bar too that's like that's pretty fun. But again,
Yeah,
like
let's talk
the
about that. Let's talk
editing,
about that's the
yeah,
Santa Con scene that you're talking about,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So you had like all these people dressed up as Santa. They're an obnoxious party, apparently like going town to town to Santa on their way to SantaCon, or they are SantaCon. I don't know. They stop
yeah.
off at the what is this
The
town?
tavern,
Newville bar,
Newville,
and
yeah.
start drinking in the middle of the day. And then David Howard Thornton's the mean one shows up.
This is
And
the most Jim Carrey he is in this entire movie.
yeah,
Like he's
he's
fully
doing
just channeling Jim Carrey in this.
channeling Jim Carrey. Isn't speak. That's another thing we got to talk about. He does not speak this entire movie. So he's pulling out some Art the Clown during this too, where he's doing a lot of mime work. And I think that's kind of one of the most unfortunate parts of the character of the mean one is that he does not talk.
Yeah,
Because there's so much fun to be had in him talking and
yeah,
doing Jim Carrey mannerisms. That's one thing since that movie, since the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch movie came out. Every town has someone that dresses up like the Grinch, like they're Santa Claus in the mall.
yeah,
Every town has a Grinch, and they all pretend to be Jim Carrey. For as obnoxious and annoying as that is, why aren't we getting that in this movie?
yeah,
Like, I want an obnoxious, borderline annoying, someone doing Jim Carrey shtick while killing people. I think that's fun.
yeah,
That's a ton of fun. And he just growls. David Howard Thornton doesn't get to have any speaking lines in this. He just growls. And it's
yeah,
very much a missed opportunity for this character and for David Howard Thornton to show off that, because I guarantee he could pull off a Jim Carrey as the Grinch impersonation.
Oh my God, yeah. Like Thornton is so talented. I feel like this movie kind of underutilizes him. Like he's not in it for like he's not in it really until this bar scene. Like you get glimpses of him,
Yeah.
but the bar scene is the first time that you really get to see him. And I'm like, I like don't pull a Jaws with this. You know, like this is not Jaws. This is not something where like your character development is going to like take you through the first 45 minutes of this. We need to see the Grinch killing people in this movie, and there's very little of it in the front half of this movie. It's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I loathe this movie as much as maybe like my initial texts to you said. Like, because as we talk about it, like I'm like, there are parts that I enjoyed. I just think as a whole, it kind of misses the mark. It just misses an opportunity to be something that's better. And I think I was just disappointed that it wasn't what it
That's
could be.
that's the biggest thing, is that there is an opportunity with this that it squanders. It just doesn't do it right. And I think there is
Yeah.
I know they've been talking about doing a sequel to this even. If they do, go full board in being a Grinch slasher movie
Yes.
parody. Let him talk, let him be Jim Carrey's Grinch while killing people, and just have a ton of fun with it. Another thing, when we're talking about this being a Grinch movie without being a Grinch movie, um, Cindy meets with a doctor who has also encountered the mean one. And the doctor's name is
Dr.
Dr.
Zeus.
Zeus.
Dr. Zeus, yeah. This bothered me. This really bothered me. I didn't think it was clever. I thought it was like kind of shit to like make Dr. Seuss like an alcoholic.
A
Like just
drunk at
like
the
a
bar. Yeah.
yeah, like he's drinking Geisel whiskey, which like theater guy or Geisel whiskey, which theater Geisel was like the actual name of Dr. Seuss. And I'm just like, I don't I don't like that. Like I don't like that you did that. Like this is
Also, Dr.
that
Seuss is
feels
not a
cynical
character
and
in How the
no.
Grinch Stole
And it
Christmas.
and it just feels cynical and kind of mean for like no reason. I was just like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
This isn't fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
said, I'm a
not.
fucking Grinch. I'm a Scrooge. I'm a Grinch. Humbug. All
No,
that.
it's not.
I don't.
It's not that fun, and it's unfortunately not that clever. Like I said, most of the stuff without David Howard Thornton in the scene is not very fun to watch in this movie. You have
Yeah.
that scene where Cindy and Dr. Zeus are talking in the bar, and it's constantly interrupted with Mr. Finch, like the bartender, asking, "Is there a Mr. Finch here?"
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we understand what you're doing, but you can't do it.
Yeah.
There's a really funny line, an ironic line in a way, that the sheriff tells to Cindy before they're about to go, like before she's like, I'm gonna gear up and I'm just gonna go kill the mean one because that's all I can do is
Hmm.
just go kill him. Right before that, the sheriff says, "We are not equipped for this level of bad." Neither are we. But it's just an
Uh.
unfortunate line that's probably used in other movie reviews for this movie because
Yeah.
plenty of bad movies have those type of lines where it's like, all right, we're just going to take this line from the movie and apply it to the review,
Right.
as I
Jesus
just
Christ,
did.
Boris.
But as we said, you get that fun training montage with her gearing up, ready to fight him. One thing we have not talked about yet is the mayor character.
Oh yeah, she's terrible.
She's terrible. Again, it's kind of a subplot that's not really needed in this movie, where
Like she's enticing.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's enticing these people to come ski in Newville to keep basically feeding the Grinch each winter,
Yeah, and
so he
keeping
can
him at
kill them
bay.
off, so he won't go into town and kill the townspeople. Apparently,
But it doesn't work because she's doing that, and still, like, the Grinch comes into town and kills people. So I'm just like, like, why do we even have this subplot? And then she just gets dragged off and eaten by him at a certain point, just in some random one-off scene. And I was just like, okay, like, there was no payoff to it. There was no, like, it felt like, again, it kind of felt like a first draft where it's like you have these pieces, you just haven't you
you have
haven't
all these. Yeah,
combined them into a cohesive like narrative, you haven't combined them into anything that actually like pays off, like sets up and pays off, except for the necklace. I'm like, that's your through line. That's what you should be focusing on, is literally just the relationship between Cindy and the Grinch, or the mean one. Because guess what? That's what every fucking movie has been about. That's what the book is about. It is literally about the two of them. You don't need all the other stuff. I don't know. Like,
yeah. It's a lot of stuff where it tries to set up all these other obstacles for Cindy, and it's like those are somewhat necessary because the only obstacle we should be focusing on is the title of the movie. It's the mean one. Just
yeah.
focus on that, and it's the best part of this movie is when they are focusing on that.
Mm-hmm.
But before she goes to the final battle with the mean one at her house, she decks it all out in Christmas. She's like, "This is the trap I'm going to set up for him. We're going to make it as Christmas as possible." She hangs up a bunch of lights and stuff. She decks out her shotgun and candy cane garb, and she says, "Time to roast this beast." It's
Great
fun.
line. It's
It's
funny.
fun.
Like, it's, yeah. I just, like I said, the finale of this movie is really fun.
She
I
has
wish
like
the journey to get
exploding
there.
Christmas. She has exploding Christmas
Yeah,
ornaments that are like
she
grenades,
like
but they're Christmas ornaments.
grenades.
Yeah,
I'm just like, it's stupid, it's silly, but like lean into that. Like that's what we want. But by the time you get there, it's like you've just been kind of you've just been kind of like burned out by
yeah. It's a
the
little
kind of dour
meandering until you
nature.
get to the third act. It really
Yeah.
is.
Like this would have been a great short film. This would have been a great short film.
And that's what I'm
Like
going to say, because we get to the ending here. I want to bring the scene up again where his heart grows 3 sizes. He rolls over to not affect Cindy at all because they're on good terms, and he just explodes and dies. It's so funny. If anything, you need to watch that scene. And I would say for people interested in the mean one, honestly, I would watch that opening of this movie with the narration up until right before it says 20 years later on the screen. It literally says 20 years later. Watch that first like 5 minutes and then just go until the end when you see her house all lit up in Christmas stuff and watch that
like
final fight.
you can play the whole thing, but like during that middle like 40 minutes or whatever, just vacuum, do laundry, do something else, and then come back for the finale, and like you'll have a much better experience than if you.
Watch
My
the
cat is
Karloff
being.
version during that part. Watch the original
Yeah.
TV movie of the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And then, okay, all right, I fit that in, and now I can watch the third act of the mean one and have some fun with that.
Yeah.
So,
Dude.
yeah, I don't really have any other notes on this movie besides, like I said, David Howard Thornton would reteam with Stephen Lamort on Screamboat a couple years later, where he plays a version of Steamboat Willie. Again, he's the best. He's the best part of that movie, and yeah, David Howard Thornton's just the best. Like genuinely, I have only ever heard great dude. He's on the right side politically, and also
Yep.
like he's a fantastic actor. So
He
I
is.
think
Yeah.
that's a big thing, and yeah, he's the best part of this movie. He's the reason you go and watch it. So if people are interested in this movie, watch it for David Howard Thornton. That's what I will say. Watch it for David Howard Thornton. But Sam, how many roast beasts are you giving the mean one out of 5?
There's enough here for me to give it one roast beast out of five. I like this was not a movie that was for me. I think if it's something that sounds interesting to you from this conversation, sure, check it out. Otherwise, like I don't know, this is not one that I'll probably revisit. Um and it kind of pains me to say that because like I said, there are elements here that could have been something that I really liked. It just ended up not being for me. So 1 out of 5 for me. Casey, how about you?
Yeah, I gave it a 1.5 out of 5. 1.5 roast beasts for the mean one out of 5. Again, I think David Howard Thornton is the reason to watch it. Those special effect or those the special makeup effects on him, I think, are really incredible and really stand out in this movie. If anything, watch that scene like we said of his heart growing 3 sizes. It's so
Yes.
funny and will get me to laugh every time I think about it. So hey, that's enough for me sometimes to just give it some sort of rating. So yeah, that's my rating for the mean one, 1.5 out of 5. So unfortunately, a not recommend from both of us.
Yeah.
Goes on the naughty list, if you will.
It goes on the naughty list. Yeah. Yeah. Um oh boy. All right, Casey.
Yes,
Should
sir.
we plug our next sponsor?
Yeah, let's wrap up this Christmas. Let's wrap up this Christmas double feature into a Christmas present and move on.
All right. Thank you to our fine friends at Fangoria. Fangoria for over 40 years has been the leading source in horror for all things spooky, horrific, and macabre. The famed magazine is back with a vengeance each quarter with brand new issues of Fangoria magazine, featuring interviews, retrospectives, and insight into the world of horror. we have an exclusive offer for our listeners to save 20% off their subscription to the magazine, the latest Fango merch, and so much more. You can visit shop.fangoria.com/screamsfromthebasement or scan that QR code you see at the bottom of the screen and use promo code screamsfromthebasement at checkout. Thanks to Fangoria for helping support the show. All right, Casey. What have you been doing lately?
I have been doing a little bit of everything lately. I've quite the list of stuff here to talk about. Speaking of Christmas slasher movies, while I was writing a review that I'll talk about here in a second, I popped on Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original 1984 film on Shudder. I'm super excited for the new one. Unfortunately, it's just not playing. It's not playing in Sioux Falls, so I have no way to watch this. So it'll have to be a 2026 watch for me, I'm sure. And so I watched the original slasher movie. I think this is a ton of fun, especially in the back half of this movie where we get past him like being in Catholic school with the nuns. I think it's a ton of fun when you get to the actual like Santa slasher elements of this movie. I would love to play this as a late night at the State Theater some Christmas. I think it would be so much fun. People have a blast with it. I'm not as high on Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 as most people are, because it is just Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 until you get the goofy rampage at the end of the movie.
I was about to say, this is where I'm like, yeah, I love that one, but that's 100% because you get a greatest hits of the first one, and then that finale is just wild.
Garbage Day!
Garbage Day! I do need to rewatch the first one. It's been quite a while since it was like pre-pandemic when I watched it for the first time, and I remember not caring for it, but I don't know. I might give it a rewatch this year with the new one coming out. I too would like to see it, but don't know if I have a feeling that if I watched it before we did our top 10 list, it'd be a top 10 contender. I just don't know if I'm going to get to it before we make those lists, so that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, same here. So I was watching that while I was writing a review for Full Moon's latest movie, which is Prompt, which is written by, I'm not sure which Full Moon stablemate it was written by, maybe Charlie Band himself, but it is directed by Charlie Band. This is available on their streaming service, Full Moon Features, and this one is about this woman who works for an AI marketing company, who in her free time just likes to prompt herself and prompt some certain type of adult videos for her to watch and enjoy by herself until a strange man shows up on screen, and she becomes fascinated with this strange man that has infiltrated her AI system. The movie, it's a tough thing because this is basically a softcore adult film. Like, that's pretty much what this is. But also, like, Charlie Band is definitely trying to say something about AI, but I don't know what he's trying to say. It's very confusing. I don't know. He's trying to say something, especially like in the last like 5 minutes of this movie, but I'm not really sure what it is, or if it was just Charlie Band was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna AI prompt some nude scenes, and then we're gonna actually film some nude scenes with adult film actresses." It could just be that. I don't know. It might be both, which is kind of the Full Moon way. But yeah, full review for that is up now on screamsfromthebasement.com if you want to read my full review of Prompt.
Yeah.
And then a movie that both of us watched is a wild and crazy X-rated horror comedy called Fuck My Son, which is playing in theaters right now, doing select screenings on 35 millimeter. And it also played at Fantastic Fest, which is, it did have a lot of buzz kind of coming out of there of being this kind of kooky, crazy, weird X-rated flick. So our interview with the film's director, Todd Rohal, and star Tipper Newton will be on the podcast feed next week, so you can kind of hear some of our thoughts on that. If you can find this in a theater near you, go watch it with a crowd.
Yes.
It is bonkers insane. It's not for everyone, fair warning.
No.
But if you're into crazy midnight pulp, bonkers
Like
insane, capital M
pushing your
midnight
buttons
movies.
kind of movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
like,
this.
Like I don't know if this movie entirely worked for me, but I also feel like if I had watched it in a theater with a crowd, I would have had a much different experience than like we watched it on our laptops because we got a screener of it, you know,
Yeah.
like, and that's a different experience, right? Like, but there's some crazy shit in this movie that you will not see in any other movie aside from Fuck My Son. So check it the fuck out.
Yes, yeah. And check out our review next week. It's an awesome, awesome chat with Todd and Tipper.
Yeah, they were a blast. I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard in an interview.
It was so much fun. So much fun.
It was.
And then next up, we both made it out to the theaters for 2 movies together. We did a little bromance night, a bro date night at the theaters. We first made it out to Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in theater, brand new release. All I can say is these aren't for me. That's, I think, all I'm going to leave it at is we went to it on what? It was Friday night opening weekend of Five Nights at Freddy's with people who are very clearly fans of the video games, who were cheering at references, characters that would pop up, little Easter eggs to like plush versions of the character. Very clearly the fan base for the video games was at this movie. At the end, they all started clapping and cheering. Sam and I were grumpy old men in the back row having a miserable time watching this movie.
I think we were about 30 minutes into the movie when I leaned over to you and when I fucking hate this.
Yes. I did not hate it at that point. I was still on board, and then like halfway into the movie I was like, all right, no. And then by the end, when you get like the reveal and then a setup for, of course, a third movie, they're just not for me, and I wish they were. And I maybe should have figured that out when the actual video game Five Nights at Freddy's was not for me. Where I'm like, I love this premise, but I don't like the execution. Same goes for these movies. It's just not, it's not for me. And I don't say that about everything I don't like, but like in this case, it's just not. Like this movie is made for the video game audience. It's not made for general audiences like us at all.
No, it's not. And it should be. Like, that's the thing. It's a fucking movie. It's playing in theaters wide. You should make it accessible for general audiences. Here's the thing. I'm going to take the gloves off a little bit because I actually discovered that Scott Cawthon, the creator of the video game and the only writer on the screenplay, which is abysmal, by the way, he has some things politically and socially that I'm like, oh no, you're kind of a piece of shit. So here's the thing. Gloves are off. This movie's fucking terrible. It's terrible. There is no rhyme or reason from scene to scene. Like, characters are making decisions out of fucking nowhere that make no sense. And all it is like, it's not Easter eggs like, oh, there's something in the background that if you're a fan, an eagle eye might spot. It's like, this isn't Easter egg. This is Easter egg the movie. This is, if you don't know what the
Easter eggs are like plot points.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, wasn't that a crazy twist? And people are like, whoa. And I'm like, no, it's not a crazy twist because you didn't set it up. It just comes out of nowhere. You pull it's abysmal. It is a terrible movie. I get that I am not the target audience, but here's the thing. You can ask for more from your gateway horror. You can ask for movies that are written with like respect to the audience. That movies that are written with actual like passion and something besides we're just going to make money because the first one made money in mind. This is cash grab the movie, and I could not stand it. It's playing at the Coyote Twin right now. Go ahead and go see it.
The crazy part is the entire storyline of the video games is not good because they are making it up from video game to video game. There's no actual through line of this story. it started off as just a fun video game where it's like, can you survive 5 Nights at Freddy's, where you're the security guard and these animatronics come to life. Cool premise.
Yes.
Then they start introducing this super convoluted story that makes no sense and is not interesting at all. But all of a sudden, it's treated like the goddamn MCU in 5 Nights at Freddy's 2, where it's like this character shows up and it's like, and it's like Spider-Man coming through the portal in Endgame. It's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yes.
I don't know. So
100%.
I'm tapping out. This is my official I'm John Cena locked in that chokehold from Gunther. I'm smiling and tapping out here because I can't do it with this series anymore.
I wasn't
But
smiling.
I will say,
I was
Matthew
just pounding my hand on the mat, just like, get me the fuck out of here.
I will say,
wanted
Matthew
someone to pull
Lillard,
the fire alarm.
Matthew Lillard, he rules. Fuck Quentin Tarantino. All right, and then the next.
Oh yeah, Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich are they're innocent in all of this. I do want to make that perfectly clear. I love them. They are free from my scathing indictment of this movie.
But then we followed it up. We made our way downtown in Sioux Falls to the State Theater for our Krampusnacht celebration, where we showed the 2015 Michael Dougherty movie Krampus. I had a great time at the movies. I had a great time hanging out with the Krampusnacht group and taking pictures with them and having all the 60-plus-year-olds who walked out of the Jay Kelly movie wondering what the hell all these demon-looking snowmen were doing outside. That was the best part of the night for me. I, again, kind of like 5 Nights at Freddy's, but not, I don't think it's like a terrible movie. I'm tapping out on Krampus, on at least me liking Krampus. I understand I'm totally in the minority. It's one of those, this might be the movie where I'm like, I wish I liked this one. I should like this one. It just, I don't, and I can't really explain what it is, but I just don't, I don't vibe with this movie, and I haven't since I watched it in theaters 10 years ago, and I've watched it probably 5 times since then, and it doesn't work for me, and I wish it would, but I think I'm at least done for a while trying to make this movie work for me. But I know you love this one.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, look, I totally, like, when people have criticisms of it, I get it. Like, me personally, like, I love this movie. To me, it's such a cozy, warm, like, but also kind of, like, dark little gem. I love this movie. I saw it opening night in theaters 10 years ago. I saw it when the state played it 5 years ago as its first unofficial late night, and I was so happy that we got to host it. Like, I love Krampus. I think it's such a fun movie. But like, different strokes for different folks. That's what this whole podcast episode is about. If you like 5 Nights at Freddy's 2, good for you. I hope you enjoy it. Like, I am glad you liked 5 Nights at Freddy's 2. Don't let me being a bitchy old man stop you from loving what you love.
If the mean one is your favorite Christmas movie ever,
all the more power to you.
Yeah, more power to you. Yeah.
Like, yes. Like, that's the thing. Movies are movies. No one's going to have the same experience. Like, everyone is going to react to art differently. And yeah, I don't know. I love Krampus. I'm glad we got to play it. But yeah, I think I was definitely the only one that rated it 5 stars.
I don't even remember. I think I gave it like 2.
You might have. I don't know. I love it. I do. I watch it every year and I never get tired of it. So it's just one of those for me.
And then last on my list, watch the season finale of It.
Ooh.
Welcome to Derry. Have you watched it yet?
I have to catch up.
Okay.
I'm working my way towards it.
You're a couple episodes behind that.
Couple episodes behind.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've watched the first 6.
Okay.
Are there 8?
Yeah.
Are there 8? Okay, so I'm very close, but yeah.
Yeah. I love this show. And our next episode, where it's just the two of us, we're doing our top 10 movies of 2025. If we would count the TV shows in there, this would make my top 3.
Holy shit, really?
I loved this series. It is...
Okay.
It is exactly what I wanted out of it. And here's the thing. So when It Chapter 1 came out, I like that movie a lot. I think was a perfect update for the It story. Then when It Chapter 2 came out, I was like, I'm not a fan of that movie. But I'm also like, maybe I just don't like the second half of the It story. Maybe I just don't like the adult version. Because even in the TV miniseries, I'm like, it's not that good. And I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe I just
Yeah.
don't care for the adult version of the Losers Club. And then after that movie ended, I was like, maybe we can still do, because it made so much money, you knew they were going to do something else with Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. Like, they have to. Because it's like 2 of the highest R-rated movies of all time. And so I was like, let's go back in time and do prequel stories with Bill Skarsgård. Because I'm like, I think that's more interesting, and you can do stuff that's outside of the King novel then, so you're not, like, strict, this is what we have to do because that's the King story. And I think what Andy Muschietti does with Welcome to Derry is sprinkle in the pieces he didn't get a touch on from the Stephen King novel, while also introducing new stuff to the story and having brand new characters, and also bringing in characters from other Stephen King stories. Dick Halloran is a main character in It Welcome to Derry. He's my favorite character by far in It Welcome to Derry.
And I don't know the actor's name that they have playing him, but he
He's
is so good.
incredible.
So good.
If they wanted to do a spin-off of him
Yeah.
and do a couple seasons where he's like the caretaker of a couple hotels before we get to like, again, do 3 seasons of that where he's a caretaker in this place, and then it ends with him as a caretaker at the Overlook Hotel, and we just do The Shining for that 3rd season. I'm all for that. I think that would be super cool, but do it from like Dick's perspective in season 3. That would be a ton of fun because he's incredible and just totally embodies Dick Halloran. The kids are a ton of fun. Bill Skarsgård, you got to him coming back.
Oh yeah.
His return is so good, and then when something happens with him later on, he gets a little bit of a different look, and I'm like, oh my god, this might be my favorite look of Pennywise ever.
Okay.
And he's so good. He's incredible in this show. The ending is perfect. Where they're gonna head in the next 2 seasons, I'm so excited for, because they have announced they're doing 3 seasons of this show, and makes total sense for what they've set up so far in It Welcome to Derry. So if you have not watched it yet, all 8 episodes are out on HBO Max. Go do yourself a favor and watch all of them.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to catch up. All right.
But that's it. That's what I've been doing. We'll have to talk off air once you watch the rest of those episodes, because I want to hear your spoiler-filled thoughts on the show.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll be texting about it constantly. Because I've been loving it too, so.
All right, Sam, what about you? What have you been doing lately? You have quite a bit on yours too.
I actually do, yeah. I mean, we can plug that we were both on the naughty list on Fat Dude Digs Flicks. Not for horror movies. You talked about Wild West.
Wiki Wild West.
with Eccles and our buddy Andy Heller, and I talked Batman and Robin and defended that movie because that's, like I said, different strokes for different folks.
Hey,
so,
we both defended some pretty terrible late 90s studio blockbusters.
Yes, we did. I was also on the Bear Cave of Terror with Steve Mallory, which you just did Subspecies 2. That episode just dropped. And I think by the time this episode drops, oh no, it'll be shortly after this episode drops.
I think of this
My
weekend.
episode of the Bear Cave of Terror will drop, where I talk about Jean Rollins' Fascination, a movie that I've watched 3 times now this year since discovering Jean Rollin. I love this movie. If you want to hear more of my thoughts and hear me speculate on why it has just struck a chord with me, that is an episode to keep an eye out for. I also watched the third Knives Out Benoit Blanc mystery, Wake Up Dead Man. It's really good, but it is darker than the first two in a big way. Like it's dealing with religion, it's dealing with like very much cult of personality types, how people can use their positions of power to influence communities. It's very timely. Like let's just say it. It's very timely with what we're dealing with, especially in the U.S. right now. Um, and having that religion bent, it struck a few nerves with me. Like it is a very good movie, but I don't see myself revisiting it the same way that I have revisited Knives Out and Glass Onion, which I find more like kind of fun. Like I could put those on anytime. Like Wake Up Dead Man sat with me. But it's got some great performances from like Josh Brolin, Glenn Close, Josh O'Connor as an ex boxer who killed a man in the ring and is now a priest, and he's got neck tats, and the whole internet's thirsting over him, and I can totally see why. Um, but like, I mean, it's the same as the first two. It's got a who's who cast. Everybody's like on their A game. Um, it's very good, and it gives Benoit Blanc an arc in a way that I don't think we really saw in Knives Out or Glass Onion. Like the third act of this movie does not play out how I thought it was going to. I do think this is the first one where I kind of felt the length of it a little bit, but I don't know what I would cut out of this movie to make it shorter. So I don't know. Like I didn't love it the same way that I love the first two, but I do think that it's a very interesting, very powerful movie that I definitely recommend people check out. It's also probably the most horror adjacent of the three. Like there's some kind of gothic atmosphere and spooky stuff that happens in it being set in like an old-timey church. So yeah, check out Wake Up Dead Man, unfortunately on Netflix. Um
I'm gonna have to sign
I
up for stupid Netflix before the end of the year to watch a couple of these.
I know, right? Um Shin Godzilla. I finally watched that. I missed it when the state played it. Um, we just had a whole Godzilla episode, but I was like, I haven't seen Shin Godzilla. We threw that on. I didn't love it. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. The Godzilla stuff is amazing. This is like very much like a satire on bureaucracy and how the government is just very ill prepared for natural disasters. And like I appreciated what it did, but there were stretches of it where I'm like, oh, this is kind of dry. This is kind of it's throwing a lot of characters at you, and that's kind of the point. Is like, why are so many people involved in these decisions? Like, but it felt a little like too much and too dry at times. Like it was just too many times, too many scenes of people sitting in boardrooms and talking, intercut with like Godzilla action, and I get what it was going for, but like it's not Godzilla minus one, and it's not the original, but it is a solid entry in the franchise that I would definitely recommend people check out if they haven't seen yet. Uh, Finally got around to The Conjuring Last Rites because I missed that one in theaters and it is now on HBO Max. I liked it a lot more than the third one. I thought the third one was pretty bad. This one this one is not the first two. Like it doesn't reach the same heights as those first two, but it's a really nice send off for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine. Um it kept me invested the whole way through. Like I don't know, I really liked it. Also, some pretty good nightmare imagery in it. Like some of the faces that are popping out of the shadows in that movie, I was like, fuck that.
Giant Annabelle doll.
The giant Annabelle doll was yeah, oh, so good. So yeah, I liked that quite a bit. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then I'd save this for last because I have to gush. Joe Bob did his Christmas special, Joe Bob's Cold Cruel Christmas. Um, I love his Christmas specials. I missed it last year because we were hosting a late night during it. But I love like hearing about the charities that they select to like for their like auction that all proceeds go to these charities. I always love that. Joe Bob was very passionate about him this year. Like he was he was talking about some very real things that are happening in today's world. He specifically chose charities this year that had funding cut from them by the current administration, and that was really cool to see. And he also played two movies that I absolutely fucking loved. One was a first time watch. He played Curtains first, and I'd never seen Curtains. I knew about the ice skating scene. I knew, Black Phone 2 was directly referencing it in its third act. I loved Curtains. I thought it was fantastic. I love the old lady mask. Like, the old hag mask is one of the best slasher masks ever.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's so creepy.
Don't they have a sickle, too? Like, as their weapon?
Yeah, it's like a sickle. And it's just, it's so good. The ending is bizarre in the best way. I was just like, what the fuck? It just kind of ends. Like, and it doesn't end on like a satisfying note. It's just like, it reveals the killer, and then it's over, and you're just like, what? I don't know. I really loved Curtains. I thought it was great. I thought Joe Bob's presentation of it was really fun. And then he followed it up with the movie that I had my fingers crossed like all week leading up to it that he would play this. He played Iced. I love this movie. It's terrible. It's so bad. But it is so fucking funny. And I had a little THC drink as the double feature started, and it definitely peaked in the end of Curtains and into the beginning of Iced, and I could not stop giggling for like the entirety of Iced. It was just Maria was laughing at how much I was laughing. And I actually ended up staying up for the entire Joe Bob episode, which rarely happens. I can rarely actually stay up until the very end, but I made it. This was one of my favorite Christmas specials he's ever done. It was pretty divisive, to say the least, especially on Letterboxd. But yeah, if you didn't watch the live stream, it is available now to restream on Shudder, and his auction is open until Christmas. So if you want to look at what he's got and bid on some kind of cool drive-in shit that I can't afford,
if you can
go
afford to do
Yeah.
this, do it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I had forgot it was on because I love watching the Christmas specials from the last drive-in especially. So yeah, I might have to go back and watch this. I was watching the auction items that night and was like, oh, these are crazy prices here.
Yeah, they always are.
They always
I
are.
I ended up doing the thing that I like. Typically what I do is I'll either get like the t-shirt or, this year I decided to get the hoodie and the t-shirt.
I was kind of tempted on the 3-pack with the hoodie, the t-shirt,
the
and the big
cup.
The big gulp cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I almost went for the 3-pack, but I ended up just going for the t-shirt and the hoodie. Cuz like Joe Bob said, times are tough and things are a little tight right now. So, but no, it was a great episode. I always love the Christmas episode. And yeah, I had a blast with it. So if you haven't, check it out. And finally watch Iced, as I've been telling everybody. When they always look at me like, what the fuck even is that? Well, now you have no excuse. Joe Bob's played it. It's in the cultural lexicon. So yeah, boom. That's what I've been doing.
All right. Well, let's begin to wrap this thing up. We've been yapping on for an hour 45 now, chatting
Jesus
about.
Christ.
I thought we were gonna for sure be like an hour 20, hour 30 on this episode. Somehow
I did too.
We're pushing towards that 2-hour mark. So let's begin to wrap things up on this special holiday themed episode. Thank you all for listening. Sam, if people want to check out everything that we have going on and what we're doing, where can they find us in our podcast?
Well, you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube if you like that visual aspect. Be sure to leave us a like, a 5-star rating, reviews. Help us boost in that algorithm a little bit and find more like-minded horror people to talk movies with. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok, where we're posting all of our episodes as they come out and other content, all of our other goings-ons, and yeah, stuff about other things that Casey might bring up when I ask him, how can they support us monetarily, Casey?
They can help support the show by joining us on Patreon. That is the best way to do so. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support the show each and every month. $1 a month patrons get a special bonus newsletter each and every month, exclusive to our Patreon subscribers, and get an exclusive signed art print designed by Sam Lenz. And also for that $5 tier, you get an extra bonus episode each and every month. And that'll drop next week for the month of December, where Sam and I will be doing a top 10 countdown of 2025 in our Patreon exclusive bonus episode, where we are ranking our top 10 music albums of 2025. This is probably my favorite Patreon episode that we've ever done. So much fun. We incorporate some of the songs from those albums into the episode as well. So if you want to figure out what our music tastes are and what we thought of music as a whole in 2025, this is a must listen. Again, visit us on Patreon, link in the episode description, or join us on patreon.com/screams from the basement and join that $5 tier. You can also check out our merch on tpublic.com. Links to that available in the episode description, or on screamsfromthebasement.com, which is our home to all things Screams from the Basement. Check out our latest episodes, links to our merch store, links to our social media pages on there as well, and links to the Screams by Night Halfway to Halloween Con coming up in just 4 months. We are 4 months away from the second annual Halfway to Halloween Con with special guests Brink Stevens and Michelle Bauer. Get your tickets available on screamsfromthebasement.com/screamsbynight.
Oh, yeah.
4 months away. Can you believe that? That's insane.
You said that, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think the anxiety dreams might start back up again.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer. No, we'll be fine. It's going to be a ton of fun. It is.
Oh, it's going to be
a
great.
Halloween party in the middle of April. It's so much fun. But yeah, Sam, this is going to be the last time you and I record together for the year. This will come out right before Christmas, so we want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Thank you all for taking this ride with us here again in 2025 and making it the most successful year yet of Screams from the Basement. We hope you all have been having as much fun as we have been having putting these episodes together for you. We have one more episode coming out next week before we round out the new year. Again, the interview with the team behind Fuck My Son, coming out the day after Christmas. The perfect way to unwind after hanging out with the family the day before. Check out our wacky and crazy interview there. And then in 2 weeks from now, Sam and I will be ranking our top 10 horror movies of 2025. The big episode, the refresh on the year. It's going to be fun. I don't have my top 10 yet. I'm still figuring out. I still have stuff to watch before that. So it's going to be a good time. So join us in a couple weeks for that episode as well.
Hell yeah. I am both pumped and also like, I'm just not going to get everything watched in that time. It's just not going to happen.
That's how it goes. All right. Well, Sam, why don't you go ahead and give the people that sign off for the last time in 2025.
Yeah, everyone, thanks for sticking with us through 2025. It's been kind of a rough year for a lot of people. We hope that this finds you well, and we hope that 2026 treats you and us a little bit better. So we love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in always, and sweet screams.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.